So I'm gonna be honest with episode 2 of Automata. It's kind of... Yo, what's good to Body Reviews and heavy spoilers for Nier Automata, episode 2, You've Been Warned. Most of this episode is more or less an exposition dump, but I do appreciate it. The episode begins with a brief introduction of how the world came to be, and apparently these aliens sent these android robots to basically annihilate all of humanity, and about over 100 years later, humanity on the moon decided to create these androids, the same type of androids as 2B and 9S, to try and help the rest of humanity fight against the alien robots. And it looks like these androids and the rest of humanity seem to be serving this organization called Aha. And you got this pretty graceful looking lady who's pretty much the leader of this company. And then we get more exposition after the opening. This storybook-esque exposition is pretty much playing throughout most of the episode. We cut to this robot dude on Earth who's scanning the area to destroy all dolls. I'm guessing the dolls are referring to the androids like 2B and 9S. And I really like this whole sequence of this robot. There's no dialogue or any exposition. He just pretty much gets up and goes back to his day-to-day job as being a robot alien. The exposition, while pretty vague in explaining what's happening, sort of gives a summary of what is going on with the robot. It looks like he's starting to develop some sort of higher intelligence, almost becoming a little bit more human. When you see one of the human warriors fighting against the robot dude doesn't care, he just walks away. And he's more concerned for his comrade robot and refers to him as a big brother. Not just him, but a couple of other robots also start to develop a more human mindset. They start to explore and learn more of the world and the history of the humans, and they have an obsession with planting seeds and making flowers. The show didn't need to do this. They could have had a narrator, could have just given a brief exposition on the robots gaining more higher intelligence. It just makes me appreciate this show even more, just giving the attention to detail to these random robots and just showing us the journey in their day-to-day lives and them starting to understand and slowly become humans in a way. We cut to a group of human resistance, and some of them are quite concerned on whether or not they can win the fight against the aliens, but one of them is super keen that the higher ups on the moon will deploy these special androids like 2B and 9S. You have a higher up announcing on the radio to all the androids and humans below to not give up the fighting, and this girl called Lily is kind of irritated by this. She seems to be the only one in the group who's pretty irritated with the people on the moon, and she has every right to be, as not a single gun has been given to the resistance or any extra help. They've been struggling down below for many years. To be honest, I understand her. If I was her, I'd probably be a little bit annoyed with the rich pigs up in the moon. Speaking of the moon, we cut back to 2B and 9S and we see 2B's eyes for the very first time. Not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be like a big reveal towards the end of the series. I just assumed that because she was covering her eyes that she might have some sort of hidden powers. It really looks like 9S is smitten by 2B as she compliments his voice. So is there a developing romance between the two robots? 2B and 9S confront their commander, and she has yet another mission for them to go to planet Earth and to find out what happened to the other androids that went missing. We get some really nice interior shots of this facility, and it has a sort of old yet very new look to it. It reminds me of how people in the 70s and 80s imagined the future to look like in a way. It looks like the humans are really struggling. Some of them are just wondering if the higher ups will send them assistance, but the main leader girl, Lily, is absolutely certain that they will not send them any help. And just when they're about to fail and to be attacked by their enemies, 2B and the 9S come into view and help out the resistance. The group of humans are really hyped with the new arrivals of 2B and 9S, but Lily is quite concerned by this. It looks like Lily has a feeling that there's more than meets the eye with the whole idea of sending these androids to help the humans. Even the main boss lady looked quite concerned when she told 2B and 9S to take care. So it got me wondering, is there another big bad enemy somewhere on planet Earth? I also want to know more into who Lily is. She seems to hold a strong resentment towards the humans on the moon. I'm guessing she's one of these poor humans that were stranded on planet Earth trying to fend for herself, and she probably lost some family members or some friends. Maybe a tragic backstory for Lily, who knows? This episode just left me with a lot of questions. Why don't those two twins talk? Are they mute? Or are they androids? Why on earth did the aliens randomly attack planet Earth? A bit random, but I'll give this episode a 9.5 out of 10 and an A. It was really entertaining. Some of the storybook exposition scenes were a bit confusing, but hopefully it'll be elaborated in next week's episode. But what did you think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Like for more anime reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. Thanks for watching, Boy Do The Review, signing out.